Hello, everybody, and welcome back for more AEL Rocket League. It is the playoffs losers semifinal, I'd like to call it, number 2. I guess it's quarterfinal. I don't know. We're taking 6 teams. We're narrowing it down to 4 with the winner of this match. My name is Formal. Joining me, JrTins dynamic duo is back as we get ready for another best of 7. Only one tonight, but this one, I honestly feel the winner of this could actually make their way all the way to the grand final.
Definitely right. We've got 2 big teams going at it here, and I'm sorry, I had this whole thing I was gonna say in my head, but I just got a bit thrown off. Did you get a haircut? I don't know whether this was last night or not, but you're looking very fresh, I must say.
No, I think since we last worked together, yeah, the haircut's new. It was a couple days ago.
That being said, though, I'm very interested. Obviously, the UN Boomers making it through, which will be a big matchup for both teams, regardless of who makes it through. We're getting into that tough point in the playoffs where there's no easy matches. And it will be very interesting to see who will join the Boomers up next week.
Yeah, it is going to be a battle for sure to see who goes there. And it's a battle that we could not witness, without some of the help of AEL's fantastic sponsors. Of course, we're talking about sponsors such as AOC. I mean, they help us see what's happening, right? They're a global leader in monitor display technology. We're all using monitors right now, and they've been around for more than 50 years. They've been delivering this exceptional viewing experience, millions of loyal customers worldwide. And today, well, they have a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, gaming, relaxation, whatever you need. AOC is there to help you out. But it's not just what you see, it's what you hear as well, and that's where RIG, what it takes to win, they have you covered. They've been developing headsets and delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join that RIG team, enhance your gaming experience. So, let's take a step back. You got your monitor, you got your headphones, probably a little hungry. Indomie, feed your game and try out any of their flavors today. Indomie noodles, they're made from carefully selected ingredients, the best quality flour, fresh spices, and from all these natural resources of Indonesia, giving it a very unique and delicious taste. Let's be honest here. This is a uni competition. Everyone is all over that McGoring. I'm kind of curious, though. We always ask how you know what you add to your McGoring, how you make it. Tins, real quick, though, I'm not worried about, like, how you serve it, but how do you make it itself? What sort of way do you concoct it together? Do you stovetop it, kettle it, microwave it? What do you do?
I've always been a stovetop. When I was younger, it used to always be microwave. Microwave, the easiest, but you just get such a better... I don't know, it seems like a better flavor, a better texture when you go over the stove.
So I'm like, I mean, if I have the patience, it's a stovetop, but I also kind of like the kettle and then sort of, boil it that way and then let it simmer in the bowl and put like a paper towel over it to keep the steam in. Either way, though, it's pretty cool. You can make it many different ways. I've never tried microwaving it. I was kind of saying that as a joke. Scares me that that's a thing. Chatime as well, our major sponsor. You got the food you need to drink as well. Fresh iced tea. Try their new range today at any of your local stores. There are over 120 of them, so they should be pretty easy to find. They have that commitment to quality ingredients, mix-ins, and a flair for innovative flavor combinations to brew nothing but the very best iced teas. So big thank you again to all 4 of our sponsors. Now, I think it's high time we get ourselves to the pitch, though, because we got some Rocket League to get into.
Oh, yeah, and I'm really excited for this one. We got some big names as well. Might see a few shiny titles for those who have been following outside of Rocket League and know what they mean. So definitely some players that we're going to watch out for here. And I'm really excited to see how this matchup goes, because I believe exactly what you said. The winner of this match, we could see easily in not only the losers final, but the grand final, as both teams definitely have the capacity to make it all the way.
There we go. I was a little worried right there. Screen was saying black on the stream, but it does come through at the nick of time. We are on the pitch. We are playing Rocket League, and already we're sort of seeing a little bit of a back and forth. Eki Jr. trying to find negative, unable to get that pass, and it looks like we might have a misfire.
Yeah, unfortunate there. I must also say I've spelled Swinburne wrong. I think Lethal actually called me out for this a week ago. And I've done the same thing here. So obviously I really just don't learn my lesson.
Oh, so wait, is that actually what it is? Where? Oh,
it definitely is. We are in the wrong here. Look, casters don't always admit that we're wrong. But this time we're not either. We're never wrong.
Okay, hold on. What's this we? You're the one who wrote it.
I don't know.
Don't drag me into this, man.
Dude, I was looking at your overlay that you had going up there, and it almost looked like you misspelled
Oh, yeah, look at that overlay there, huh? Yeah, so both of us.
Look, we're casters. We never really were good at spelling. Usually, we don't require that too much.
I didn't study journalism. No, that was a different Max Formal.
That being said, I think we're ready to go now. I think we got everything sorted. We'll be heading back in, and hopefully we've got it right this time.
We're still going to avoid blame, all right? We're still going to avoid blame. I'm blaming USYD Rokt Lorg for this because I wrote them out first, and their misspelling just got me in that misspelling mood, all right? That's clearly
Rokt Lorg is one of those words that, like, I really have to think about how I'm pronouncing it, because just the way you look at it, it's such a weird word to pronounce. But that being said, we are underway here in game number 1. We're finally there, and let's finally watch some Rocket League.
Yeah, Scout's already going to put some pressure on Lethal in the box, just trying to force that issue. Won't be able to get it past Eki Jr. Zuko still playing far back, though. Always be careful with Zuko. Very unique third man. Likes to actually play third man, but then goes solo with it when driving up the sides of the field. I'm curious to see if Zuko's going to be given space to do that in this matchup today.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous having a third man that, and that's why we always talk about those mechy players, the players that can really pull something out of nothing, and Lethal doing it right there, gets to the open net, and no one able to get to that one in time, just negative with a tough read.
Yeah, tough read and very unusual mistake from Negative. Normally should be pretty consistent with players like that. Negative in particular is going to have to be that player in this matchup for USYD if we're going to be expecting them to pull off what could be considered a bit of an upset. I feel like it's going to be a lot of earnest on who I actually feel might be the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. He's right up there. You know, it's not easy to get a blue title, and he did make top 8 in OCE outside of AEL. Now he's bringing his skill set to AEL. It's going to be very interesting to see. You talk about him being the player to watch, and I really feel that it will be a bit of an upset. I think Swinburne Black, definitely one of the teams that we thought would make it there, but right now they're in the lower bracket and they might be there for a reason. So if there's any chance to take out this team, now is the chance to do it. Only question is, can USYD pull it off?
Yeah, exactly. And, well, at the moment, they are on that back foot after that opening goal from Lethal. A bit of an offensive attack does sort of fizzle after that clear from Lethal, but he wasn't able to find Zuko on the opposite end. A little bit of back and forth Rocket League right now, but Negative wanting to shut the field down. Does press forward, creates a bit more space. Now you've got USYD knocking on Swinburne's door. The question is, how long can they sustain this attack? Well, only for so long until Lethal will break up those offensive rotations and turn that momentum back the other way.
Yeah, a bit of space in the midfield. See Zuko put an attempt easily shut down by Eki, and Eki adding the junior to their name. Maybe, you know, I'm okay with it. Having another junior on the pitch, I do love to see it, as Scout is in the corner. We'll look to keep the ball close, try and buy time for their team to pick up some resources and get back in the play. And really good patience there. You talk about Zuko as third man, and just the patience it takes at this level with this amount of pressure on to take that time, but it's not going to matter. Negative putting that one on.
Is there such a thing as too much patience? Zuko trying to slow the play down, immediately gets challenged by Sai, and Negative was there then to finish that play off. And this is something that we're noticing. USYD is, they're not sitting back and letting Swinburne sort of take advantage of any space they think they have. We're seeing a lot of aggressive challenges coming from this orange side, and finally it does pay dividends.
And aggressive challenges in those midfield possessions is what we saw took down Swinburne Black last week when they were going against RMIT Red. So maybe teams are starting to figure out this roster. They're starting to figure out how to really overcome and get that win. The only question is, will they be able to hold it up as Eki Jr. is in the corner, low boost, does get a nice pinch center. Zuko easily able to clear it out of side. Sai keeping that pressure alive. We talk about the aggression. It's really starting to come out here, but a good hit downfield over to Sai. Can't quite get that one on target. Really good passing opportunity, but not on target, so we'll be sent the other way.
Gotta be able to capitalize on those types of plays. At this level of the tournament, you're sort of expected to make those contacts. A bit of an unforced error out of Sai, which didn't really hurt USYD immediately, but it could hurt them now. Zuko showing Sai how it's done, gets the redirect off the pass and makes it a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, really nice hit down to Lethal. Looking for your teammate, and not only just taking your time. Zuko knowing no one is back. All he has to do is put that one on target. Managed to do so, get the goal lead. And I really feel like this game, especially game 1 and game 2, is where we're really going to decide who will take this one away. I think both teams are coming out. We're not seeing that usual need for warm-ups here between the both teams. It just seems like both teams really come ready to play and are bringing that fire from the start.
Yeah, and it seems furthermore for me too, especially out of USYD, like they want to be the aggressors in this game. They understand, I think, probably, you know, they are a little bit on that underdog side. So we're just going to take our shots when we have them, and I really appreciate this style. I think it's definitely thrown a wrench into Swinburne's sort of more methodical approach at times. However, when the openings are there, Swinburne has already proven they can be in position to take advantage of it, as we see right here. Last time it was lethal to Zuko, this time it's the other way around.
Yeah, and making the shots, you're making sure you're putting those on target. We're not seeing any of that messy play that we have seen in the last few weeks. I believe it really comes down to shot percentages. The teams with the higher shot percentage just seem, I feel like that's kind of me kind of contradictive saying that, because of course the team with the higher shooting percentage is going to win, but it seems to be what is happening here in Uni League. Those teams that are able to put those ones on target in good placements are the victors. And I do want to touch on that fact that you said that USYD are coming out here knowing they're a little bit of the underdogs and really bringing that fire from the start. I think it's also the opposite here. Lethal putting that one in demanding top corner. The speed on that, they definitely came to play.
137. Lethal's going to be happy with that one. I can't wait to see him on his stream, you know, watching the game back and probably again and again on repeat while his chat says, yeah, I could do better. Well, if you can do better, prove it. I mean, half the chat's still in this tournament. Either way, 4-1 the lead right now in favor of this blue side. And it looks like Swinburne Black is probably taking our opening game.
Yeah, and I just want to touch what I was talking about before is I think Swinburne have kind of come in. They got that wake-up call. They were just in the upper bracket, negative finally. I keep trying to mention this point, but shot after shot coming in. Yeah, I can't talk. Both teams just saying, yeah, it's all about us. We're the ones that are going to score. And negative with a really nice infield pass play put someone away.
I don't mean to sound harsh, Tins, but I just don't think the players care what you have to say. I don't think they care. Nice jumper, by the way. Anyways, 50 seconds. I forgot you weren't on camera. I actually wanted you to show it off. We'll do that next time we go on camera. Either way, 45 seconds remaining as we look for that play through the corner. You know why I want you to show it off, as Eki is going to get challenged. Sai going to pull out of this. Zuko looking to play midfield. Ball will get past him. Eki tries to get to that corner, but Lethal is able to collect it. 30 seconds remaining, and that clear from Zuko might just be the killing blow in game number 1.
Yeah, the quick counterattacks coming out from Swinburne, making sure that when they get those clears, they're looking for teammates upfield. And when they go from defense to offense, it is in an instant putting those shots on target. So they're doing really well so far as Lethal will get demoed. Infield pass there, but Eki just passing a little bit too far back. No one's going to be there. Scout looking for the shot, won't quite find it. But all they got to do now is waste time. They've got that safety goal. They've got 2-goal lead, and right now they're just waiting until the clock hits 0.
I just need 1 or 2 more touches until the ball will hit the ground, because you got to keep it alive. Apparently, that's the rule. There we go. Swinburne going to go ahead and take our opening game. It's really nice. I don't have to go to replays. I can just do a little boop on the thing side for Swinburne and adjust that there. Before we kick off, though, I said I was going to cut back to us real quick. Show off that jumper. You're on camera. Show it off. Show off. Yeah, show off that merch.
You got to pull it. You got to pull the merch. You got to pull the merch. Just Tins merch, you know. I don't remember. You know, Magnus apparel. Just cheeky plug. Cheeky plug.
All right, back to the game. Now look, I just noticed you were wearing that then, like in the middle of the game. I'm like, oh, that's a nice jumper right there. Yeah, definitely. Game number 1 goes to Swinburne. I mean, the aggressive style from USYD got them a couple goals, but it also left them exposed sometimes. And I have to ask, do you kind of hope they stick with that same play style? Because in a sense, even though they didn't get the win that they wanted, I kind of do hope they stay with it.
I think they need to. I think it's just going to become a shooting range if they choose to play more defensive and stay in net. They're just going to see shot after shot come on their net, and they're not going to be able to get those clears. Challenging ball in the midfield, not giving Swinburne time on the ball, I think, is what's giving them their offense. But
like that,
well, kind of like that, I guess. They do manage to pull
the
it on
challenge, midfield, shot, score.
Look, I think I should be a coach at this point. It's just kind of what I say goes. Just really nice to build pass, but yeah, I do love to see that aggression coming out, and I think they need to stick with it if they want to continue out this series. If they sit in net, they're just going to become sitting ducks.
Well, I think if they were kind of doubting their strategy before, I think that opening goal might be some reaffirmation for them. I mean, that was a brilliantly touched shot from Sai right there. Kind of making amends for the missed pass that we saw back in game number 1. Now, on the offense again, well, one player will swing and miss. Negative, you know, won't. And where is the middle defense? That was nearly a disastrous situation. A very risky pass from Lethal to Zuko, though, does lead to a counterattack. Zuko, little bit of boost, gets it into the corner. A frantic exchange of plays, and finally the pace does slow down, or does it? Negative shot stopped by Scout.
Yeah, won't quite find a one on target, though. A few opportunities. Negative getting a miss will leave Eki to follow it up. A double commit, but it does work in their favor. It's off the backboard. Eki putting that one away, and when 2 players go for the ball, who do you go to read?
Yeah, that is a tough situation to be in. Lethal just trying to play the ball, I think, more so than anything else. Came out worse for wear on that 50-50, and Eki reading the backboard touch nearly immaculately. Definitely enough to make it a 2-0 lead. USYD, I think they've kind of doubled down on this aggression because it feels like they're playing even further forward up in game number 1, and it is paying dividends.
Exactly right. Negative even overextending there to try and go for the aggressive play of the bump. Couldn't find that one, but definitely what I like to see. And that physical play, I think, has really shown to uphold and get those wins in Uni League, as well as demos are very hard to counteract. So hopefully that isn't the first or the last demo attempt we will see there from Negative, as Scout does get a nice backboard read out to Lethal. Couldn't make a touch. Sai will send it straight back. Good 50 there by Scout in the midfield. Negative will send it down the corner, playing a little bit of ping pong action. Both teams just trying to stay on that offensive end.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because each team is sending members down to cheat, and it pays out once more for USYD as Sai finds another more open net. Sort of an awkward touch from Zuko, had to deal with Negative, led to this setup play right here. Scout was in the process of cheating down the field, couldn't rotate back in time, and now it's a 3-0 lead for USYD.
Can they make the comeback, or this demanding lead? Choose to hold out for the rest of the game. Eki looking for a midfield pass, couldn't quite make it, and Sai can't send it. Zuko in a 1v1 situation. Those are the solo plays we saw, and solo plays not only are very good to score, but also set up your teammates at that time not converting, and you've got to be converting those when your teammates go for the solo plays, baiting out the last 2 defenders in net. Got to make sure you're there to support.
I kind of have to question, though, the decision to go for the hard goal, though, from Zuko and not look for that backward pass, because both Scout as well as Lethal were actually wide open across the middle of the field as the 2 defenders did press forward to challenge Zuko. If he had kept that one high, it would have been a very nice back pass, and it would have been an easier shot, I feel like, for Lethal to be able to follow it through. Sort of a rough situation right there where you've got to commit to one decision or the other. It's not really the decision that Swinburne was looking for. Another chance, though, ball off the backboard. This time it's a pass, but no one's there. So, you know what? Whatever Zuko wants to do, the team just not really in that same synchronicity at the moment as we pass the halfway point.
It's extremely hard to do in terms of you've got so many options on the ball 24/7. Someone like Zuko can do anything, so you've got to pick and choose what moments are the best to do. That comes down to team communication as well. Seems to be lacking here in this game for the first 2 minutes. See if they can clean it up. Still plenty of time, and we know these level of players can turn a 3-goal deficit into a draw at any point. It's Negative looking downfield to Eki. Does force a backflip, so we'll be playing the backboard. That is a great bump there from Eki. No one able to read it, and we'll be there for the cleanup. And right now, just playing a bit of ping pong yet again. Scout is last man back. We'll be playing it off the side wall. Early met by side. Might be an opportunity if the team is there close. But both teammates seem to be pressing back, and that's what we've seen on both sides of the field. Is
triple commit.
Him for passes.
What? No, wait, that was a teammate. I think that was
I'm getting
Lethal.
my orange and blue mixed up.
I think that was Lethal. The triple commit on defense, and then Lethal just cleaned up Zuko on the attack. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yes, it's so weird when you see so many players go up. I start thinking, wait, which team's going at which goal again? As both players just get a little bit hectic. Maybe the pressure is starting to get. They are in the lower bracket. This is a do or die situation.
Yeah, and it's looking like game 2 is going to be going in favor of Sydney this time around. Eki Jr. trying to set something up. The ball will bounce off that back one, follow through by Scout, connecting to Lethal. Defense already back and there to make the save. You know, if it's not too personal of a question as this one, just goes wide to the right. I have to ask you, like, Tins, because I never have. Where did you wind up going to uni?
I went to Victoria University for a while, and then I dropped out to pursue a full-time role in the course that I was doing. So I was actually very thankful for that. But yeah, I did go to Vic Uni well before I knew that Uni Rocket League was a thing. I'm kind of regretting my decision now.
True. Well, I've never actually seen the Vic Uni team. I've never had a chance to cast them. I don't know where they're at. Eki Jr. knows where he's at, though, putting in another goal. I guess by proxy, though, that means you kind of, part of you, if you're going by state logic, pull in for the Swinburne side?
I'm not too sure, actually. I think, look, everyone's going to hate me for this. I'm going to be that guy, but I'm just really liking to see high-level Rocket League. But the only reason I'm going for Swinburne, this has nothing to do with universities. This is the Lethal versus beating Lethal matchup that we've been waiting to see all season. That is why, I do like to see Swinburne compete, but right now they're really not a 5-goal deficit. Sai putting one on the board yet again. Swinburne just having no answer.
Yeah, Zuko just an awkward clear right there. Wound up posting it. Don't think that goal is going to change too much for a final result here in game number 2. It is a 5-0 lead in favor of USYD. So they're going to be looking quite good after the second game. That very in-your-face style paying dividends and then some. I've been a particular fan of this, and we haven't really seen much offense at all from the Swinburne Black side as a result. Game will eventually end. You said now tying the series up. It's 1 apiece. Best of 5 time to be a little bit cliche.
And one thing I'm really loving from this roster is you think Negative will be the one scoring all the goals, being the headliner for this team, but he's doing a really good job at playing the passes. One thing I would say is a player like Negative, his passes are so on point and hits exactly where they need to. And when you've got shooters like Sai and Eki on the floor, that's what you need. Negative really utilizing the strengths of himself and his team, able to put that one away. And it's actually really interesting to see Negative with the 3 assists, no goals. And really, that's the time that his team dominated.
And it's interesting, but not too surprising. Like, having cast a couple of these guys' games before, this is actually sort of the playstyle they've opted for. You sort of come in expecting Negative to be this big-time playmaker, but absolutely has been a bit more of that role player, and he does such a phenomenal job in enabling his teammates because, yes, you can comment about like how they've been super aggressive and challenging a lot, but it has been Negative doing a lot of those first challenges, setting up Sai in particular to get those goals. Sometimes the first man is not necessarily the shot taker, but it's still just as important in creating that attacking pressure. So Negative has been doing their part, just not in the flashiest role. As we see that pass right there. I mean, it was perfect. Not able to get the goal this time, but that's exactly what he brings to the table. And then, eventually, they're able to find the goal.
Negative able to get the assist yet again. That's what we talk about is Negative was the first person to create that play with the infield pass play. Then the follow-up is, yes, the credit goes to Sai, and Eki and Sai doing a really good job being around the ball, creating that offensive pressure, but Negative really being the front runner and creating the offense. And it's actually great to see, but also he's a player that you can't get out. I've seen him do plenty of solo plays here and plenty of on-the-ball mechanics. So you definitely can't count him out as an individual mechanics as well. Eki looking to get one on the way. Does get the demo. The flip after the ball into the demo. There's not much you can do. And Eki putting that one away.
Someone's been putting in their 1s hours. I love the little wave dash as well to get that extra burst of speed just to make sure that you can find that demo. That was a great piece of Rocket League right there.
And a 2-goal lead. Will this be the commanding deficit that we saw in game number 2, or will Lethal bring it back? Has an opportunity here, goes for the dunk shot, opportunity just off. Zuko trying to follow it up, but will be a stalemate in the corner just for now. Negative does pass it out though, awkward touch gives it a Scout, and Scout will get their first goal in 2 games.
Yeah, it's pretty, I think a sigh of relief at this stage for Swinburne that yes, they can still score goals, because game number 2 was a roughie for them. Well, they're back on the scoreboard finally. I feel like they're starting to get more aggressive themselves at the end of that. I'd like to see a bit more come from the Swinburne side in terms of picking challenges, picking moments. Negative still shutting down that middle of the field, though. It feels so hard for Swinburne to get any sort of momentum going.
Yeah, and when they're finally getting those opportunities, they're just hitting the ball a little bit too hard. And you know that USYD are going to be there right away to clean those up. A demo coming out. Scout is going to go for the solo play. Tries to get the pancake. Can't quite. An opportunity. Both players cheating out net. Lethal says, thank you for the open net.
Yeah, that was just an awkward touch, it looked like, from Negative. Trying to throw it up to Sai almost for that corner clear, and Lethal just be able to press forward and find the goal. Tie ball game, 2 apiece right now. Something, though, that I am noticing, and, like, has anyone else besides Zuko been demoed or gotten demos?
It's the curse of the third man. If you're specifically that player that hangs back a little bit, you're the player that's most likely to get demoed as they take you out. They know that they've got a free back line. So, yet again, actually, you know what? Lethal gets demoed this time. Same result, Negative gets the score.
Yeah, but was he going for Zuko, though? Watch where Lethal is compared to Zuko, right? I don't know. I feel like it could. Okay, no, that was the correct demo to make. Opened up the goal. Negative is able to put it through. 3-2 lead once again for USYD, who are looking to take the lead in this series.
Yeah, and kickoff does go heavily in favor. Lethal gone for 1 touch too many. We'll send that into blue team's side there. Good 50 by Negative, just sending a little bit too far out. Negative, I think we might have cast cursed it here because I've seen Negative make a few awkward touches, and Negative has also got 2 touches that has led to 2 goals here. So Negative maybe feeling the pressure. Maybe the caster curse is a thing. We're not too sure, but Zuko will try and make something happen in the corner there. Lethal for the follow-up. I just feel like Swinburne really need to start cleaning up their play, maybe communicating a bit more, as opportunities just aren't coming for them.
No, they're not. And again, it feels like it's just coming from this pressure. Like every time a Swinburne member touches that ball, there is a challenger there. And because of the pace that Swinburne is playing at, it's not the type of thing that, you know, tight spacing is necessarily going to fix. You mentioned before, they're always making that ball so hard. So it means that when these challenges go awry, the tight spacing that they've been trying to adapt with has just been too tight, I suppose. The ball's been going too far awry, and then that has been allowing USYD Rokt Lorg to capitalize time and time again. It's very interesting, as the normal solution is not going to work for them until they show a bit more finesse. Granted, Zuko has been, for the most part, that touch obviously not it, but most of the time Zuko has been playing with a little bit more of that finesse, but the same has not been mirrored by the rest of the team.
Yeah, you can tell Zuko's really playing a keep the ball close kind of play style, making sure that if they do give away possession, it's always beating out a defender. That being said, it is all the aggression from USYD. They're really doing a good job at, when you're playing an aggressive play style, the defense is so worried about beating the player out that's challenging them right away, that they're giving away possession to second man, and that's a really good job there from USYD. Good play style, and it's working out for them here. A minute and a half to go, 1 goal lead. A bit closer than we saw in the previous series, but Swinburne still not out of the woods just yet, still need 1 more goal.
Yeah, they have only a minute and a half to do it as well. That's going to be it right then and there. Lethal gets credit for the point.
Yeah, bit of a kerfuffle there in midfield. Negative just not beating out the defense enough, and that is a really good challenge from Lethal. We're 50-50 that did go in direction of the net. No one on defense is going to be able to read that one. Unfortunately, a minute and a half to go. 3 all much closer, and this is the kind of series that I thought, this is the kind of game I thought all series would go. So I think this is what we're going to see. I think that 5-goal lead was a bit of an outlier. But that being said, it's definitely not to put away from USYD's playstyle. They've found what works, they're sticking to it. Will it be enough to get them over the line in Game 3?
I think they're going to keep fighting for it, if nothing else. Scout's going to be leading the charge down that corridor. Our ball is going to bounce off the roof towards the net. Negative. Be able to keep it held in the corner, at least for now. Zuko pass back towards the middle. Scout has a chance, but so too does Eki Jr., who will be able to find that clear. Final minute of play. Eki Jr. gets the ball to the wall. But was going for the double instead of the pass. A little bit surprising. Team's not there to back it up, and Sai's touch is very awkward. Negative still gets to the ball, fakes the first touch and drills the second. Eki gets credit for the point.
I was looking at Eki that whole time going, are they going to rotate out? Or are they just going to stay there? But don't mind me. I think that was actually off target. Eki putting that one away. Good positioning. And I have seen that a lot from this USYD side, as players waiting on the backboard, waiting in awkward positions, because how is a defense are you supposed to stop that?
I mean, demo.
Just chase him on the backboard?
Yeah, just chase him on the backboard. I mean, come on, that's exactly what you want to be doing, right? It's a tough one, especially when they can drill shots like that. I mean, that's probably going to be the most technical goal we see tonight, unless we see something crazy a bit later. Eki just put that one perfectly in, because you're right, it didn't look like that initial touch was actually going to find its home. 20 seconds remaining, 1 goal down. Swinburne, they've got one last chance to tie this one up.
Yeah, Negative doing a really good job of keeping that pressure alive. Eki there to follow it up. Won't be able to get the double. No one's going to be there to follow, but a wide open midfield will give Sai a free shot on net. Goes for the bump as well. Zuko is there to clean it up. Beats out one defender. Like we've said, Zuko doing a really good job, but 2 seconds to go. Might not be enough as Lethal trying to keep it up. Negative just going to let that drop. And Swinburne in a bit of strife here as USYD playing absolutely amazing.
Yeah, USYD's going to take the lead in the series now, 2-1 in favor of our orange side. I have to admit, it's a little bit surprising to see this be the case. However, their playstyle definitely seems to be catching Swinburne off guard. Granted, I've been impressed with the play from Zuko. Lethal has been able to find a couple good reads as well. I don't know. It just feels like every sort of attempt, for every 3 attempts, I'd say 2 of them are just shut down immediately by the USYD side. So whether or not Swinburne is going to be able to find more openings moving forward, they're going to have to try to do something. I still think they find success in slowing the pace down, particularly when on defense.
Yeah, exactly right. And I agree with you, because I'm trying to think, like, what could they do better or what aren't they doing? But it seems like both sides are playing well. No one's necessarily making huge mistakes or playing bad. But USYD just seem to be the ones putting the shots on target, getting those better looks. I think it might be the creativity in terms of Swinburne are doing very readable things on the ball, whereas the pass plays and the speed is really hard to read here from USYD. So if they can keep that up, they might find themselves as a few shot opportunities there will be played aside by Swinburne. Negative will send it back on target. Scout can have to play it to the side here. Zuko is on the ball, leaves it for lethal, and another awkward touch. Scout is able to get to a first lethal. Looking for that shot on target, couldn't quite find the top corner. We'll go for it again, can't find the angle again. Zuko is there, top corner, finally found it, and Swinburne take the first goal.
Yeah, Swinburne get a very much needed goal right there, and Zuko just able to cross up that defense just enough to give themselves that 1-0 lead. Swinburne Black obviously wanting to tie the series to take this one to at least a game 6, might I add, if they find that win here, so good start.
And 2 down is not what you want. You definitely want to take the victory here. You can't afford to put yourself in technically a best of 5 reverse sweep, but lethal does get demoed in the midfield. Zuko with plenty of time, gonna keep a close force out of 50, and negative the first one there to it, as Zuko is doing a lot of these good plays, but just seems like the teammates aren't as close, whereas USYD Rokt Lorg, I feel like the communication is at that next level to the point where as soon as something happens, you know that one of their players are up for the ball to challenge it early. What's been working for them so far as Scout will look to clear it downfield. Zuko is waiting upfield for this one, no boost, and a demo on Zuko. And we talk about it time and time again, you mentioned this as well. Zuko just always copying the demos.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the right sort of player to be targeting right now, because Zuko's slower play style, sometimes with possession, has been what's been, I feel like, the most successful in sort of enabling the rest of Swinburne Black around it. And when you get rid of Zuko, the result is just sort of like banging it as far as you can, which has been playing more and more into USYD's style. Granted, so far in this game, it's looking pretty good for Swinburne, and that time the deep clear actually punishes the over-aggression. And now we got a 2-0 lead for Swinburne Black.
Doesn't happen too often, but that is a really nice read from Scout, and it is kind of weird to think that USYD Rokt Lorg, when they're getting all their goals, it's from infield pass plays or the aggression. Swinburne Black getting a few of those lucky 50s that are just going in directional early challenges. Maybe that's what they need to start doing, as a Cooksa pinch comes out from lethal, might set up Scout, couldn't quite get there quick enough. Negative will play it into the corner. And it is really interesting to see how like both sides are kind of scoring differently in the play styles that are coming out.
Yeah, it has definitely been a weird clash of the styles. Scout! Oh, what a little dunk right there. 3-0 lead for Swinburne.
Dunks and 50-50s. I said it happens yet again. Scout doing a really good job at challenging that one early. Finally, seeing them on the board, seeing them in that dominant position, and maybe that's what they're lacking. Maybe they're just saying, we're going to go for this ball here, start being aggressive, send as first man on the ball. Seems to be working out as Zuko will 50 down to midfield, an open net yet again. Lethal can't shoot that on target. Will have time to get that one away, and overcommit starting to come through for USYD.
Yeah, well, we've been waiting, I think, for Swinburne Black to find ways to punish this aggressive style of USYD, and they're now finding those fast counterattacks. They're also sort of throwing that own sort of offensive pressure as well back at them when given the chance. We have finally seen that adaptation come from Swinburne, and it has come in spades. A 4-0 lead halfway through our 4th game. I don't see them giving up this lead in this one. A reset, it's a late one, and negative has the read.
Yeah, Zuko definitely going for those solo plays. Lethal just trying to get a nice 50 into net. Eki will send it aside. Early beat out there will send Scout as the last person back, and doing a really good job at not really expressing too far back there. Got a little bit more of that midfield control, and if they can keep that, that seems to be whoever shines through in these series, who can keep that midfield possession. As right now goes to side. Negative with a nice offensive pressure there. We'll give side the goal.
Yeah, as you can see, Eki was even looking for bumps or demos on that backboard at the time, too, during the setup. So that was kind of an all-in attack right there that had to pay off. Something that you will do if you're down 4 goals with under half a game remaining. They get one through. If they can find another quick goal, then we can't write Game 4 out just yet. USYD, they're trying to fight back.
Yeah, we can't really, and you see a 4-goal lead, you must think that there's not too long on the clock, but they've scored so quickly. Having 2 minutes on the clock, I really feel like it doesn't matter what deficit you have, as double commit out in midfield. Negative is just going to have to play it back. Scout with the early challenge. We'll send that into midfield. Negative with nice patience to get that flick. Also with a bump, but no one's going to be there to clean it up. Still all players from Swinburne.
Oh, that's so big.
Overcommitting, and negative getting an open net. All players turning in the midfield.
I mean, that was great from Negative for this setup. You could be a little bit like, oh, Eki Jr. kind of missed it there, but it didn't matter just because the speed and the tempo was so heavily on USYD's side after that play on defense that Negative was able to make. It does turn into a goal. 2 goals within a minute and a half. That is more than doable, and this kickoff goes right into USYD's lap as well.
Exactly right. Definitely opportunity. Shot coming out. We'll go off the backboard. Scout really awkward in net. Does get the pre-jump backflip save. And we need to see Swinburne to start take more possession, buy some time, as they're really starting to play to USYD's speed, and they're really not controlling the pace of the game.
No, the aggression, again, coming back from USYD, starting to find success once more. Granted, time not really working in their favor, but they're still going to go for these deep passes. It's a fake. Defense didn't bite, but they bite on the second shot. A great pass back to Negative makes it 4-3.
What a comeback, and there is still a minute to go in this game. The pass there from Sai, pinpoint accuracy. That play deserved a goal. They got rewarded with it. 1 goal down a minute. Can they do it? Can they pull back a 4-0 deficit in just, what, it's been a minute and a half?
Yeah, it would be a 2.5 minute. Well, it was 2 minutes, 6 seconds when they got their first goal, and now they have a chance. Sai looking for that double. It's going to be disrupted by Zuko. Only 48 seconds on this clock. Desperate play in the middle of the field. Turns into a Zuko shot. Scout will be able to get underneath it. Has just enough boost for one more touch, maybe. Defense will be able to fall back. 35 seconds, though. It's only half a minute, and it is still USYD on that defensive side.
Can they do it? 30 seconds. Finally seeing the pace control here from Swinburne. A Scout just looking to keep that pressure, keep the ball into their own corner. Lethal is out in the midfield, but Negative is there to clean that one up. Does get a nice touch. The dog play can't find the accuracy needed to put that one away. And now Eki is on the counter attack. Quick shot, top corner, couldn't find it. There's an awkward position. Sai puts that one in. 10 seconds to go, gets the comeback.
And again, it's a fake that causes the Swinburne defense to kind of jump right there. They're playing off that backboard side from underneath. Had to put that one in the perfect spot. A 4-goal comeback, and it took just under 2 minutes to do so. Now, USYD Rokt Lorg, if they get this next goal, they go to match point.
And can they do it? Can they do it even before overtime? Eki will get denied by Scout. It is dropping in front of the net, but it won't find its play. And we are in game 4 overtime. The comeback of, I believe, the entire playoffs from what I've seen. Can Negative make something happen here as an awkward play? We'll send 2 players to overcommit. No one in midfield. Zuko will play it over to the corner. Looking to get to this one early. Beats out one defender. Scout is there to wait for it. Finally seeing that nice control, but being a little bit too patient as the ball is up. Negative is looking for the angle. Lethal get the pre-jump save. Will be sent down to USYD's side.
Eki felt a little bit backflip in the midfield, though, and that's going to cost a lot of that possession. Ball waterfalls in a very dangerous spot. Scout tries to find it, but instead eats a face full of defender instead. Lethal now going to go for that solo play. Eki will break it up, finds that second touch to get it to Sai. Booming clear, a miss on the midfield boost grab means possession should be going back to this orange side, but it's so quick of a counterplay by the side of Swinburne that it's turning into another one of these long-standing back-and-forth games. Historically, this has actually gone in USYD's favor when they start to cheat members forward. Do they do so again? That net looks open. Lethal puts this one away in overtime.
Finally gets someone. I was a bit worried there as it did seem like a double commit for USYD. The infield pass. I was going to say the infield pass was there. It does get bumped. Doesn't matter. It finds its way in. What an overtime. And you've got to be sitting there nail biting after that one.
Yeah, I mean, after that 4-goal comeback, USYD, I thought they were going to carry that momentum to game 3. And if they win that game, I feel like they take this serious, because coming back after throwing that lead away would be a little bit devastating. Even with the loss, though, you kind of feel like that swagger still is going to be in favor of USYD, though, because Swinburne, they're going to be thinking, how did we even let this one get that close?
Yeah, and they're definitely going to be rethinking their strategies. Maybe even some overthinking might come out. We did start to see the control of the pace in those last few seconds as well, which I really like to see, and I think it's what Swinburne are needing. Now it's all about playing too patient. We saw Scout get early challenge sometimes with the ball stuck on the roof of his car. Can they look to find the middle ground in terms of playing patient while playing aggressive? That's the sweet spot there, and Negative trying to find the sweet spot in that top corner. Won't be able to, and Scout will play it down to Lethal, pops it up to Zuko, who just getting a nice touch, I believe, just trying to put in their corner, buy some time for their team to rotate back on offense.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to find that space right now, and it looks like finally space is actually being given to the Swinburne side. Scout waterfalls it down. It's an own goal, Junior! And there's always got to be one, right?
We say it every time. OCE, any series that we watch, there has to be one own goal. Might I add, that is an amazing own goal, because the angle that he hit is very impressive.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what he was trying to do with that. Like, was he trying to clear it to the corner? Was he trying to spike it down? Because that angle is like a 1 in a million shot, right? And absolutely drilled it.
That's one of those where if you try to do that on your net that you're trying to score on, it's impossible. You'll never be able to pull that angle off unless you're not trying to hit it.
That was amazing. Like, I genuinely have no idea what the intention of that touch was. Like, because the only place where he put it was straight to towards the net. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe trying to hit up a teammate in net to try and get the clear. I'm not too sure. I don't think it was that in depth. I think it might have just been a missplit. That being said, that does give Swinburne the first goal in this game, and I believe when they did score first the last game as well. Might be something to look out for as a shot coming on net. What a top corner leap with the save. Zuko with the clear. What a shot on net, but what an even better save.
yeah, that is that Swinburne defense that we were hoping to see a little bit earlier, I think. To be quite honest, in this series. Bumps, though, coming from Eki Jr. trying to open a doorway. Eki has to wrap back around. Lethal again, able to come through with the save. Lethal doing a very good job playing in that box right now and just dishing it out to the corner. Harder and harder, it looks like, for the side of Swinburne to find these goals. Still 3 minutes left in this game, though, and you can see the pressure coming from USYD. The rotations are so tight. The challenges, they're not even happening midfield. They're happening at, like, quarter field, and finally, it looks like Swinburne is able to create some space.
Yeah, and the counter-attack here might go in their favor. Negative not able to stay close enough. Lethal will get a gigantic clear downfield. Scout staying nice and close, and I do want to touch on what you said last game, and I really do like to see what USYD are doing is their placement on the backboard just out of reach, where they're not putting the ball on net, they're putting it just high or just to the side on purpose to really set up for these nice pass plays, and it's really what's been working on their favor so far.
As we do see, you know, Sai trying to play through that corner, does get it back to negative, but Lethal is already up for that read from underneath. It's another awkward kind of double commit play right now. Scout's still going to look for that bump, but there's no one there to follow it up with the shot. Oh, there's Lethal finally back in that middle of the field, playing that third man role a little bit too deep. Despite the setup, I think it really seems to me like Swinburne is almost more concerned with not letting USYD have another one of those dominant offensive attacks, so they're playing a lot further back than they are in terms of like trying to extend the lead. It's a very conservative play style.
Exactly right, and it's all about not overextending, making sure that you don't give them momentum in favor of USYD and give them that time and space in the midfield to make those passes, cutting them off early, but Negative will be first one up to this, puts it on target. Lethal easily back to brush that one aside. Will look to start that counter-attack. Gets a pinch, but gives away possession into the midfield. Luckily, Zuko is back. Hit that one away. Lethal going for a touch off to Scout. Not going to be able to do much with the placement there, and ball will be sent the other way. And it really seems like Swinburne just controlling the aerial game.
Yeah, that they are. And you said, I mean, now they're trying to go up to match, but just little whiffs, little miscontacts, although that net's open. Where did Lethal come from? Where did he come? He looked like he just teleported behind the ball.
I was looking at that like, that's a goal. Like, no one's in net. That's unfortunate. It's a really nice shot, and then Lethal just comes sliding across the net, able to pre-jump that one perfectly. Knowing Negative could really only put it in one spot, but that takes a lot of momentum, and you've just got to be in the right spot for that one.
The timing needs to be immaculate. That's the most important thing. And, you know, for players still trying to figure out how to make those goals, often you can put yourself in the right spot where the ball's going to be, but doing it at the right time, that you don't, you know, A, make contact, B, make good contact. It is so difficult to pull off. Look at that pinch off of Negative's attack, and that's going to go all the way in. Looked like Tiger Woods right there in the PGA Masters, just a putt straight down the green and into the hole.
Yeah, using the power of friendship between those two players, putting it all the way down into the bottom corner, and that's not what you want. Those are the worst goals that you want to really have to sit through and watch, especially watch the replay of it in defense. Negative just getting really unlucky there.
Yeah.
They did a good job of getting that pinch, and watching that replay has got to be heartbreaking there for you.
Oh, yeah, that one's going to be a bit of a feel bad. You already saw it spill over a little bit in the chat right there. Obviously all in good fun, but still, that's going to be a painful, this is going to be a painful loss, I feel like, for USYD to swallow, all things considered, remembering You know, they were up in the series before. They had that crazy comeback in the game just prior, and now they've got to win 2 in a row because Swinburne, they're going to be going to match point. That timer will hit 0. The ball will eventually hit the ground, or maybe. It also might go in the net. We'll see. Okay, no, it hits the ground. That's all well and good. Swinburne, 1 game away from advancing into the top 4.
That has to be hard. You come back from a 4-goal deficit to lose in overtime, to then have to, well, I'm actually going to do a quick server restart, but you come back 4 goals, just to lose in overtime, go scoreless in the next game, and now you're on match point. The mental game has to be strong for these players. They have to know what they need to do in order to pull through, as it just seems like Swinburne are just playing at a different speed right now. They've really picked up their game from what we saw previously, playing a lot faster in the air and really just controlling the pace again.
Yeah, it is definitely turning into sort of a match where we're finally starting to see the strengths from Swinburne that I think we were expecting to see at the start. And eventually that aggressive style is starting to be read. I mean, when you take a look where a majority of Swinburne's goals are being scored, it's been very, very far back, like, you know, either midfield or even that last goal all the way back on their own side, just because of how aggressive USYD is being forced to play in this attempt to try to keep up this pace and tempo. I feel like now that Swinburne has sort of adjusted to it and adapted to that play style, we should be seeing, I think, a little bit more of a one-sided affair in favor of Swinburne. But who knows? USYD surprised me already. Perhaps they're going to be able to bring this one back.
Yeah, there's one thing USYD are doing really well is just really it seems like one game they play completely different in terms of what they're sticking with the same play style, but it just seems like one game it's working and the next one not so much. So it will be very interesting to see how it pulls up this game. I really feel like Swinburne have found the play style that they need, and it's all on USYD to be able to adjust mid-game, mid-series, which is a lot harder than you would think in terms of finding and pinpointing what exactly needs to be done when, as I said, it just seems like both teams are playing very, very well. It's just the real small things that we're seeing that really stand out between a good team and a great team. Those small adjustments in terms of 50s, controlling the pace, little things like that really push teams over the edge and get them the win at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see what that happens. I imagine we'll be jumping back into the lobby shortly as started waiting to go in it. That could be my game, actually. That's just not letting me in.
I think it's saying you're in an online game.
I'm not. Wait, is it saying me? Like I'm the issue?
I think it might be a bit messed. I'll leave if I could please get an invite back.
Yeah,
we'll try and get this one going.
Right, I'm back.
We'll call this a quick timeout for the teams. They can calm down. They can find out what will work and what won't.
Party. Now where are you? There you are. Set party leader. Go.
There we go. It was me. Okay, look, this one I'll put the blame. This one was actually me. Nothing previously in this entire broadcast was my fault, but I will cop blame for that one.
Yeah, fair. I'll blame you too. Anyways, let's get ready to go into what could be our final game. It is game number 6, and Swinburne looking for a chance to get themselves into that top 4. USYD trying to play spoiler. I have to admit, got a little bit of pressure right here on that Swinburne side. If they want to watch the start of the Monaco GP, they're going to want to win it right now.
And will they be able to pull it off as Lethal will get an open net, hits it a little bit too far, will give away possession to Sai in the corner. Is there quickly to follow it up. Not enough boost to make anything happen, and a bit of a stalemate in the corner there. Not really choosing to go for it until Zuko is off the ceiling. Does have the flip reset. Good early challenge by Eki. That is not the position you want to be in, sitting in net, having Zuko come at you from the ceiling with a flip. Not
at all. I mean, Zuko's probably the most dangerous player on the pitch in that kind of position right there, so a good job to hold your nerves and make that save right there. USYD I'm going to try to drive it back across that center of the field, negative from underneath with possession. Goes for a late flick, got 2 defenders to bite, although Zuko is going to be able to rotate back. Scout will be the one who's going to try to clear it from the corner. Taking a page out of Zuko's book, actually. Goes for that slow clear, finds that pass setup. No one able for the shot just yet. Lethal will again try to cross things up. Eki has a good touch. Sai has a good follow-up. It's not on target, and it doesn't matter because Zuko's there for the save.
Good opportunity there, and a few more of those without trying to express might put them in a better position as Zuko trying to keep close actually lands on Lethal. Luckily, the confusion there is holding up. They are able to rotate out. Finally, negative on the ball. Playing over to Eki. Will look for the midfield pass. Good early challenge by Zuko. Forces Sai into a counter-attack. Does a really good job at holding that one off for a little bit. Give time for their teammates to make the adjustments. An awkward 50 Wilson that in midfield. Scout is up That is a dangerous position, but just no one there to finish that one up. Lethal going for another pinch. I don't know. Maybe Lethal's been watching a lot of Cookside. He's been practicing those pinches, but that's not the first one we've seen of him this series.
No, and you know, there has been some success. Obviously, that one might not be it. Lethal goes for another, and that one definitely is not it. That's going to lead to a clear back that other way. Zuko plays backward, but puts it in a actually great spot to follow through. A miss by Eki Jr. Another touch over defender. Sai has the read, and Scout was too far forward, getting bumped off the play by Negative. We're seeing flash moments of brilliance, I feel like, for Swinburne, where it looks like they're about to get things going, but then they're making these little mistakes as Zuko misses the ball again right there. Eventually, one of these missed touches might come back to cost them.
And it's both teams that are making these mid-game mistakes, but Zuko going for the pre-jump. Those are the kind of plays that I love to see, those upfield pass plays.
On no
showing
boost.
off the mechanics.
I mean, that was like that was a play on no boost that Zuko was going for right there, and he's been able to pull that one off. I don't know. What a touch by Sai. Lethal able to fall back, make the save. Sai, though, is looking for that perfect setup. Negative tries to get this dunk on Scout, and Eki Jr. overcommits. Lethal wins a pretty key 50 because now Zuko has space to work with. It's going to try to backboard it. Sai able to run enough disruption. Back the other way. Scout says no.
I've got to say, this game is looking very messy compared to what we've seen. Maybe it was the break that we just took, but it just seems like no one on either team is on the same page, having a few mistakes. But on top of that, both teams aren't punishing these mistakes in terms of getting those shots on net. They're just rotating too deep or just not in the right position. So is it a little bit messy? This might go in favor of either team. I really don't know. As clockers wind down, we have seen no goals here. Is riding in front. Double commit, actually bumping each other. Still can't put that away.
Yeah, the double commit kind of got both the players out of position, and Zuko was thinking, I need to race back and play third man because of situations like this. Where's the shot? Another ball in front of the net with no one there to punish. Now Scout is going to go for that next touch. The good read by Sai. Still a minute 25 to go. No goals scored. Plenty of opportunities. However, this game, no one can just get a wrap on the ball. A double commit again opens up the middle of the field with Zuko trying to cheat on the corridor.
Yeah, and looks like it will go straight there. Negative does get a nice pass. No one there to follow it up yet again. We're really not seeing that first to second man connection here, especially from the side of USYD Rokt Lorg. We have seen before Zuko taking time, trying to beat out Negative. Does get a nice 50 into the goal square, and Lethal will be there to try and pinch it yet again out into the corner. Can't find that one though, and Scout actually does get a really nice beat. Negative playing in the corner.
Someone needs to physically pinch Lethal every time he goes for one of these pinches and misses, and maybe he'll start to get more accurate with them. Either way, that's a demo in the goal, but it's not going to be enough to open up the score just yet. Scout tries to follow through. Defenders, they're so slow, they hesitated, and then they bite, but Zuko doesn't get the pinch needed to create that attacking pressure. Now, midfield clear, count by Scout. That's going off the backward. Negative, caught by the post, but Lethal is not able to get to the play.
Almost get the bump. Really good job on USYD Rokt Lorg to watch for that midfield, but 20 seconds to go. No goals on the board yet as Sarcilia trying to clear that one out. Lethal looking downfield for Scout. Can't quite find it. Will be played out into the corner. And Lethal just trying to be a nuisance here, trying to disrupt the defense, and will throw away possession there to Zuko. So well done there, but Eki with the early challenge will be played yet again. The weird read will let the ball touch the ground. 0-0 overtime.
This game has been so chaotic, easily the most chaotic game we've had yet, and of course the scoreline's only 0-0. So many awkward touches, so many near misses, as another touch by Negative goes right to Zuko, who is going to be able to get that second touch. So it's a double commit into the corner, but no one's in the middle of the field to punish again. Both teams, they're content to rotate back so quickly that they're missing chances. Well, now Zuko goes for the double, but Eki Jr. shuts it down. Scout looks to follow it up, and he goes for a double. It's flowing, it's an own goal and in! Swinburne Black advances to the top four.
Scout having the opportunity, instead going for the flip reset, puts that awkward, and that is heartbreaking for the side of USYD. They came out so strong. They had the opportunities, and that is how they're going to leave the Uni AL League. But good on Swinburne for sticking in there, making those adjustments. They will be going through.
Yeah, how did you predict the game to end, Tiz? Did you predict it to end in a 0-0 overtime with a flip, reset, double touch, own goal force? Is that what you expected to see to end that game? Because that's what we got.
I actually have it in my notepad. It's exactly what I can't believe that. It was such a good setup there from Zuko to begin the play. Not only that, but after one of your players goes for a mechanical play, then Scout follows up, going for the flip reset. I would love to see what Lethal was doing during that time, because I feel like all players are just committed to it. Like, yep, no, this is how we're going out in this overtime. We're all going to go for something special here.
I think Lethal was having one of Lethal's special beverages, you know, like a nice tall glass of Coke. But yeah, I definitely feel like that was a series I think some people would be keen to sort of reset and go at it again another time. That said, I'm a little disappointed that's the only game we have right now, just because, like, that's got me worked up to see more, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. That's the best part, isn't it? Only one series a night. It's killing me who is going to be joining them in the grand final. We have to wait until the next one in order to then find out who will be joining. And next up, we do have Swinburne Black taking on the New Boomers, and I feel like that is going to be one of the best games that we have remaining to watch here for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially gauntlet time, right? Swinburne Black versus the UON New Boomers. Winner of that, RMIT Red. Winner of that, the grand final. So if you haven't already, please follow up with AEL. It's not just Rocket League, but you've got everything, you know, your Dota, your Siege, your CS, your Smash, like all of these events a part of AEL. Granted, Tins and I, we kind of just stick to the Rocket League.
Yeah, you know, stick with what you're good at. I do know a thing or two about Rocket League. They do plenty of other games. I believe that they are in the grand final stages or the playoff stages in their Hearthstone tournament as well. So definitely all the action here at AEL if you do want to go check it out.
Yeah, my good friend Mendrix likes to cast that. So yeah, definitely do check that out. On that note, it is time for us to say goodnight. The Monaco GP starts in 5 minutes. That's where I'm going to be. But all of you guys should be following AEL. It's all up to you. Either way, have a great night, everybody, and go buy JrTins sweater.